Today, a social services center in San Bernardino, California, was the target of up to 3 terrorists, between 1 and 3 armed gunmen, armed with assault rifles, clad in body armor, who left dozens injured or dead in their wake before fleeing the scene in an SUV. The manhunt, as we are filming this, is still ongoing. Now, understand the information we're giving you is the best information that we have at this point. But we do want some information from the scene, so we have this video of Scott Pelley describing an eyewitness account of what happened during the shooting.
But this was the best witness description that we have heard yet. She said that she was in her office looking out a window in this office complex where the assault occurred. She said that she clearly saw 3 gunmen, all dressed in black, armed with what she described as assault rifles and extra magazines. Now, that would match what the police chief in San Bernardino told us just a few minutes ago at his news conference. The chief told us at that point that there are 14 dead, 14 being treated in emergency rooms. He said that those numbers could change, but that was the best estimate they have now. 3 gunmen, apparently reported by multiple witnesses, 3 gunmen dressed in black. One witness said that they saw the gunman leave the scene in a dark SUV, but that is the only description that we have. And clearly, at this point in time, the police are desperately trying to get together any witnesses, any description of the gunman that they possibly can. But right now, there are 3 heavily armed men with semi-automatic or automatic weapons somewhere in Southern California, having just murdered 14 people, shot 28 people at this state office building, and the police do not know where they are.
Now, there had been a rumor in about the hour after the shooting began that there was a SWAT presence in Pasadena. Some people thought that might have been connected. It has been proven out that is not actually connected to this. These are not the same people involved in Pasadena as in this original shooting. And we want to give you a little bit of information about the place where this happened. It's the Inland Regional Center, and according to their Facebook page, it opened in 1971, employs nearly 670 people, and works with roughly 32,200 individuals in that area who live with developmental disabilities. As of right now, we don't know anything about the potential motivation for this attack.
So it was a government building?
As far as I know, it's not an actual government building. It's a social services center. It might be government, it might be nonprofit. I'm not actually sure. But they are rendering services to the people in that area. And it appears that that was what was specifically targeted.
We have met the terrorists. It is us. So this is what I'm terrorized by. We've got all this nonsense debates about Syrian refugees here. What Syrian refugees do we have in the country? What terrorist attacks have they done here? None, right? You want to talk about probability and statistics and who's likely to cause you harm. It's us. It's the mass shootings, day in, day out. When is it going to be in your neighborhood? I guarantee it's coming, okay? You want to be scared of something? Be scared of something rational. The mass shooters. They're everywhere. They're in Oregon, they're in California, they're in New Jersey, they're in Texas. They're everywhere. They're in Colorado, they're everywhere. We are the terrorists. We are the terrorists. We're terrorizing ourselves. How many times are we going to allow this? It happens every week. Now it happens several times a week. And we're held hostage by the NRA. And our goddamn politicians, the Republicans and some of the Democrats, nope, I'm not going to do anything about it. As people get butchered, massacred over and over again in the country. Let's go invade countries based on terrorist acts. There's nonstop terrorism in the country, nonstop mass shootings, dozens at a time killed. Our children are massacred in Connecticut, and we don't know a goddamn thing about it. Oh, why? Because the NRA greases some politicians. I have you no bounds of reason and decency, man. Fuck the NRA. How dare you, man? They're killing our kids. They're killing our citizens. What are you doing? Oh, Ted Cruz takes money from the NRA. Joe Manchin takes money from the NRA. These guys, oh, no, we can't do anything. Look at how corrupt our politics is. Over 80% of NRA members say, for God's sake, do a federal background check. Of NRA members, okay? Let alone over 90% of the country. But we don't have a democracy. We have politicians who are systemically corrupt. They're all bought, they're bribed, Every single one of them, they're bribed by the NRA. So they go, I don't care how many of your kids die. I don't care how many of the citizens die. I don't represent them. I represent the people who write the checks. NRA writes my checks. Screw you and the citizens. I'm going to let the terrorists rampage throughout the country. That's what we have now. This is not a democracy. God damn it, the federal background checks over 90% of the country. What does it take? What does it take? This isn't a fucking democracy. These sons of bitch, corrupt assholes, and they're murdering all of us. They're murdering us all across the country. You know who's next? You're next. Your community is next. Wherever you live is next. It's not the Muslims, it's not the terrorists, it's not even the Christian terrorists that do the Planned Parenthood. It's the mass shootings. It's the mass shootings. We're awash in guns. If we have all these weapons around, what do you think is going to happen? A certain percentage of the country is crazy. A certain percentage of the country wants to be famous, and they think the way to do that is to shoot things up. Some of them are so-called terrorists that we call terrorists, and some of them just want to get famous, or they're nuts. Take the guns away. You want to, oh, no, Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia. What part of this is a well-regulated militia? This is not a fucking well-regulated militia. This is just mass shooting after mass shooting. That's what this is. This is not a well-regulated militia. This is not what the Second Amendment is supposed to be about. What is this? It's just a bunch of guns. Over 250 million guns in the country. Of course we're all going to get shot up. Of course we are. You think everybody's sane in the country and we're just giving away the guns to the crazies, to the desperate, to all the nuts in the country. We're just giving it to them and say, go ahead, shoot us all. And that's what's happening. You don't like it. You don't like facts. That's your problem. And you're next.
I read that over the week, or the holiday week, the FBI did 185,000 background checks for new gun purchases. I suppose there was some sort of Black Friday sale. And I also read earlier today, before the shooting, the NRA responding to someone pushing for gun control, they said the true epidemic is the constant push for gun control. That's what they said. Yeah. That was before the shooting. Maybe they feel a little bit of shame.
The NRA won't let us stop selling weapons to people on the terrorist watch list. You think that's an exaggeration? That can't be true, right? It is true. Paul Ryan, that brave leader of the Republicans, just a couple of weeks ago, blocked legislation that would say, hey, you know what? Maybe terrorists shouldn't have weapons. Not the terrorists I'm talking about. Oh, I'm wrong. I can't call people terrorists when they're mass shooters and kill dozens of people at a time, right? No. Bona fide people on the terrorism watch list. They're not allowed to fly. They're so dangerous, we won't let them fly. But they're like, here's an Uzi. Whatever, here's weapons. NRA's got to make money. The weapons manufacturer's got to make money. Who cares? Give them to the crazy, give them to the terrorists, give them to whoever you want. NRA signs the checks. Go ahead, bitch politicians. Keep working for them. Keep working for them. We're going to rip your fucking house down, man. This is what's happening in Washington. That's not a democracy. We got to go after them. Wolfpack, up and at them, man. I'm serious. Get our democracy back. 93% want federal background checks, and we don't have them. What kind of fucking democracy is that? Wolfpack, go get them. Let's go. Stop. They're going to keep on shooting us until we get our democracy back. God damn it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so fucking mad. How many? That's my question. How many? It's 1 a week, 2 a week, 3 a week, 2 a day. How many? How many before we pass any legislation?
We're still talking about the Planned Parenthood one on our rundown today. That's what the final judgment is. We're still talking about the last big shooting, and we can't even get totally through that before the next one happens.